jam. Guys, that new jam is just selling like hotcakes, I tell you. Welcome to YeNDoR'S WiLDCaT chat. I am your host, YeNDoR'S better known as Rod Edmondson backwards, of course. And my co-host is going to be with me here soon. Special guest is coming on board today, folks. You know him. He'll be coming on here shortly. And my horns are out early, folks. I like that. See? My horns are out early. Yeah, what we are is a class reunion broadcast started during the pandemic and just bringing lovely souls together. And I just want to find out what everybody's got up to these days. And guess what, folks? We're going to soon find out what this guy's up to with his own intro. What? He's been with us long enough to have his own intro. How do you like that? He's the MC from DC. Gentry.
Namaste.
What's up, my brother? How are you, man?
I'm great, man. I'm great.
We haven't yet to figure out what your name is backwards yet, have we?
It's just me and Betty hanging out late night. That's Betty back there.
Oh, that's Betty.
Yeah, Dia de Morte type of little candle holder, I guess. Yeah. I've had her since the Shane Train stream, you know.
Oh yeah. What is it? Does she have flowers growing out of the head? What is that?
Well, it's a porcelain. It's basically like a candle holder. See the top there? It's flat. You put a candle on the head, and then you get the light coming up off of Betty's head. And
did you make it that in ceramics class back in high school? And
you put a candle, and then she's lit, like many of the dates I took home back in the day. You gotta be lit before I took you home.
You're not lit enough to go to my house.
Yeah, I gotta persuade him somehow.
We have Shane, a special guest in our studio that is going to be brought on in just a moment, and it's got some good news for us. Yeah, I've heard of some great news lately, and he's come on board to share. And pretty excited about that. So what's new with you, Shane? We're going to bring him on in just a moment, but I want to catch up with Mr. Gentry.
Well, I will share what's new, but first, real quick, a disclaimer, every guest is a special guest. Come on, Rod.
This is true.
I think you're being exclusive. So not much happening. It's good to be back. I know we've been back to a regular schedule, but we've had some gaps here and there as life happens, summer happens, we go on vacations. But yeah, it's good to be back. I'm excited to do this and catch up. Socialize with everybody that we can have not talked to maybe in years, and good stuff. Nothing big. So recently, I know I always like to share with you observations because I'm an observant guy. I drive through town and the county, and those of you don't know, I live in the DC area. It's very metro, and of course a lot of traffic, as you would guess. I'm at another intersection, and I know I've kind of done this before. Hey, I spot something while I'm at a red light. I can't help it. It finds me. I just see things. So another observation. I mean, this one was kind of cute. So I'm at the red light. I look to my left and I see some road workers, maybe utility. They got the yellow, this and that. There's a backhoe, shovels, the whole works. And there's two workers like the shovel guys, and there's obviously a ditch or something that's dug out. And as I'm sitting there, it's quite a long wait. And I see the two laborers, they looking at each other. They got their hard hats and they start doing rock, paper, scissors. And I'm like, I saw it. What's this about? I keep watching. And the dude who lost, he's like, he took it like good sport. They're laughing. He hopped down in the hole. So I guess there was some kind of digging duty that somebody was going to like bet the other guy to see who gets to go in and do the crap work. But my point was, I was like, how cute, how that was kind of a feel good because, you know, in our day to day, like at work, whatever type of work you do, whether it's blue collar, white collar, home, whatever, it's nice to bring a little morale into it and kind of like bring a little spirit and make things fun, you know. That's what I took from it. I'm like, look at these.
Yeah, it was a nostalgic.
Having a good time.
I went by the pool the other day, community pool, and they're playing Marco Polo, and I was like,
wait, how old were they? Kids or adults?
They were teenagers. I was like, Marco Polo. And I was pretty stoked that they're still playing that. I go, do you guys play horse on the basketball court still? I mean, how far back do we go here? Well, Shane, I just want to let you know that it's been a pleasure to have you on board as the co-host, and it's always a pleasure to have special guests coming on board that they come out of the woodwork, and even if they're returning, which is even better, that means they liked it, right? And this guy's returning Apparently he's Mr. Fort City, Shane, and you are Church Street's finest, of course. So you guys have a lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen.
Different
Mr.
boroughs of Taft.
Mr. Les Clark, folks. What?
What's
Yes,
up, guys?
he's here. What's up, brother? How are you?
You don't realize how white your beard is until it comes up on the screen, and you're
Right?
So.
Why do you think I don't let it get as far as it needs to, or I keep the hair short? Because that starts coming out white.
Die. Used to, when you're a kid, you never found a mirror you didn't like, and now you try to avoid it. So
time sneaks up on you, right, Les?
It does. That's for
good to see you. You're looking good, though. I mean,
I got a face for
you wear it well. You look distinguished, and you're good looking. You're a good looking man. You age well.
Well,
yes,
you guys are awesome. This is a neat deal. I always come and check you guys out, and it's always an honor to be here with you and be around the finest of Taft. So
yes, we appreciate your support.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, what's with the Indians hat? So tell this the update. What's going on with your boy Logan?
Well, my son was selected in the Major League Baseball draft Wednesday to the Cleveland Guardians, and
wow, nice.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. It's not the Chief Wahoo is long gone, but it's a hat. It's my Mo hat, so it's crazy. Logan says, "Hey, Dad, you get to really wear your Mo hat now." So it's I still do my lawn. For those of you who don't know what Mo hat is, so
what is Mo hat? What is that?
You wear it to mow.
It's cleaned up now. My wife cleaned it for me, but.
Oh, you had a mohawk? How did I not know this?
Rod don't do yard work.
I mow the lawn and the hat.
Oh, the mow the lawn.
Rod don't do yard work.
It's fun stuff. I mean, we're really blessed. He's a good boy. He takes after his mom.
Wow, that is awesome.
Are you
news,
talking about this guy? What?
Look at this.
Yep. Yeah.
Look at that confidence in his eyes, folks. That's a piercing confidence.
Hey, you know what, Les? I know you're a proud papa, but we're also super proud. When you come from a community like Taft, we're always looking to boast and brag of hometown success, man. That's nice.
It's really neat.
Awesome.
Yeah, he got a lot of exposure this year, and he never did not wear his Taft hat. So it was kind of a fun thing. It was a fun thing to see. He has a lot of pride and whatnot for his community, and also thanks. It couldn't have been done without the good old town of Taft.
So, what position? What are his accolades with
Logan's?
Mr. Logan?
Logan's a catcher and
quarterback of the team.
That's right.
Baseball.
That's the only position he plays. And
where did he get that idea to be a catcher? I wonder.
He's a lot better than I was, Rod.
I don't know. You had a piercing bullet to second base. I remember that.
Well, maybe I should have been a pitcher, but he was he's a great kid. His mom and I couldn't be more blessed, and we have two other boys too that are coming up, and we're just so thankful. It's an honor, and it's not something that we're taking lightly as parents, and he certainly isn't taking it lightly. He flew out from the airport today to go to the spring training facility, and he touched ground. He felt like a big leaguer, because they wine and dine you, and he touched down, and he says, "Dad, I've landed." I said, "Okay, that's good." And then the next text I got was, "This is awesome."
That's great. That is awesome news.
So
that's great, man.
Les, as a father too, I don't know you as well as some of these other guys, but I know of you, of the depth that I know you. You're a very solid pillar of respect. Your kids, I mean, you look like a super wonderful dad. And I
thank you.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You're a religious man too.
Yes, sir.
Yes, and in the end, whether it's baseball or they want to open up a donut shop, you can't be more proud when you see that they're happy doing something they like, right? And they're successful at it. That's got to be awesome feeling, I mean, it's just.
Les just went black on us. What happened, Les? Oh, there he is. There he is.
My son was calling me. He'll call his mom next, so we're still in the good.
That's good stuff. That is.
Well, if he wants to come on board, he is Taft alumni, of course.
You know what?
Join us.
Next time for sure, he would be honored to do that. He loves Taft, but
that'd be great.
Much for the sentiments. I mean, obviously, I fall short from the grace. I think we we all have our shortcomings, but it's you know
Or
what?
you wonder if you're doing enough, right?
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
right.
am I doing what I most I can do? You know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep. Yep. So just try to do your best, and I think the key is to stay out of their way, and every once in a while pull a switch off a tree, and take care of business. So
Big
So
it's,
congrats.
how much of your parental and coaching techniques did you get from your own pops? Because I remember he was also a baseball coach, and he was a great role model back when I used to play.
my dad's an amazing human. Him and Logan are best friends. It's we had a little going away party for Logan last night, and he said it best. He says, "Grandpa, you're not my grandpa so much as you're my best friend." Him and
Oh,
Oh
sweet.
man,
are
the
Logan
feels.
are
Oh,
Little
Logan
tear come down.
Yeah, they're two peas in a pod. My dad will travel with us from time to time, and they argue like brothers. And I'm the one that has to get in the middle of them, and because they're microcosms of each other. They really are. So it's fun to see, the both of them kind of go at it. But he's been amazing. My mother and the whole family. We're very blessed, and obviously Logan is done his family proud.
that's
That's
good
awesome.
stuff. Yeah.
So how many kids do you have, Les?
I have three
Three
boys
boys.
and 5 dogs.
What? $5.
5 dogs.
Oh,
Dogs.
dogs. I said
How,
daughters.
many-
You got eight
how, how,
kids.
how
Nobody
many
told
kids
me
you
that.
think you got, man?
I know. I was like, what?
Yeah. So no, my wife, running the rec department, we get these stray dogs at times, and she falls in love with. We have a little spot in the back, a little kennel. We'll put them in and try to find them homes, and oftentimes we don't find them homes. So they're
My sister is the same way. At one point, I think she had like 5 dogs and 3 cats or something like that.
yeah,
Like, how do you have such a farm of animals? You know what I mean? But she'll like get astray, and then she can't find a home. She goes, you know what? I fell for this one too. So then just add it to the fam. You
yeah,
know.
yeah, absolutely. So, but she's got a great heart, and the dog food bill's a little higher than what you want it to be, but it's part of the so
You,
a lot
you
of
know, you know what where I always turn to, Rod. The practical. That's a lot of poop
that
It
is,
is.
and it's
It is.
I call it a child rearing because it's good for the boys. Hey, it's your Monday, Tuesday, your Wednesday, Thursday. Of course,
there you go.
We lost the Friday, Saturday guys, so
Delegate.
we're gonna have to figure this thing out. But there is no doubt they do like to do a big job every now and then.
Yeah, I'm down to one dog less. I lost my other senior pup
I saw that.
about two
I
weeks
saw that.
ago.
I don't know if you saw me reach out with some thoughts and prayers, and you love those things, and when they're not here and they're not here long enough, you miss the heck
It's
out.
like 15 years I had like 15,
Yeah,
maybe 15 and a half years or something like that. Yeah, it's just they made this paw print thing, for him that I'm supposed to go pick up on tomorrow actually. But yeah, but he got to where I had to carry him up and down the stairs, and it was just time. But yeah, it's a big family member of the house, of course, having pets and stuff. So,
yeah,
but
absolutely. We had a dog, Sarge. He was around for about 16 years, and when we lost him, it was a tough day. So, and then we had Snots. We've had all kinds of dogs. So,
it's
yeah,
not.
yeah, Snots was.
I can guess how you got that name for him, huh?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, fun stuff.
uh,
Fun stuff.
so did you speak to? You said you spoke to Wendy. Is she coming on board
I
or
don't know
no?
if she is. She said the last time she was here, she sat in the waiting room for a long time. So she told me to tell you
Enough of you,
specifically.
Rod.
She told me to tell you specifically, Rod, and I quote Wendy, crap the bed. But she'll.
Oh, you know what I think would happen is that she came during the 2-year anniversary
I
one
know.
that we
Yeah.
broadcast, and it only could take 10, and we had like a full panel, and it wouldn't let me,
Hey, in
pull
all
people
seriousness,
out.
said
So
she's
sorry, Wendy.
she said she'd be super pumped to come on. If she can't make it today, she'll do it. Another. But Wendy's doing real good for herself. She's a professor at Taft College, and has two amazing boys that have been like nephews to me. and she's just a tremendous, Wendy. I mean, they don't get much better than Wendy Mary.
I
You,
mean, here
Jack.
she is with Miss Shannon Severy
Yep, there you
Roberts,
go.
Miss Wendy
Yep.
Jackson Berry. I feel like I need to say like their maiden name and then their new name for people to say who's, you know what I mean? So
Yep, absolutely,
me and
absolutely.
Jane don't have that problem. Where are you? Where are you, Lester?
There you go. Our Church Street's finest. I like it. I like
I
it.
know. I need to
That
claim.
was home base for all my
I need to
shenanigans.
claim Taft Heights. I
Yeah,
think I
you
need
gotta
to put.
do it.
Yeah.
You gotta do it.
If we're comparing Taft with Manhattan, see that's the boroughs. You know, we had the Fort City, South Taft, Taft Heights, and then Taft.
Absolutely.
The regular Taft proper, I guess.
Church Street. We lived on Church Street when I first came back to town, and I was a bachelor for a very short time, and I think they condemned the damn house. They tore it down after we were out of there, but they probably should have. But yeah,
What'd you do to the place?
some of the houses out in Taft are just old. The plumbing,
Yeah.
like that. So Taft is still, trying to find its hold again. So it's tough sometimes. And, there's some good things going on and there's some not so good things going on, but that's the way everything's going right now.
Question. Your son, has he seen Best of Times?
He's seen them all. Yeah. Loves the heck out of it. Yeah. So he was trying to specialize in a sport and I was trying to be that dad to not allow him to specialize. And so he came into his junior year of high school and I said, bud, you got to play football. He goes, yeah, but I love baseball, blah, blah, blah. I said, that's fine. That's all good and dandy, but you're going to regret it if you don't play football. Some of the greatest times a guy can have is being out there with his brothers and hanging out on the gridiron and blah, blah, blah. At least go out. If you don't like it, then we'll go from there. So he went out and COVID hit. So no football his junior year. And then senior year, he played last year. And he said, Dad, I wished I would have played all 4 years. It was the best time that I've ever had. So he had a good time. And consequently, the scouts really liked it. They don't like guys that play one sport. They want to see.
Oh yeah,
Stay active, right?
That's what I've read.
And a lot of
speaking.
people.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just piggybacking on what you're saying. Having played football at Taft High too, that those who love it, great. If you're not into it, that's fine too. But if you are blessed enough to play it and get on a team, it is, I'm sure you can agree. I mean, there's a lot of things. It's not just a team sport, where you learn the team camaraderie, the physical benefit, the perseverance. If you have good coaches, you learn good life lessons. But at the same time, it is like just mentioned. There's almost life lessons you could take out of football. I mean, overcoming adversity, perseverance, just looking out for the guy next to you. I mean, there's countless of. It's going to sound cliche, but people who have played it get it. I loved it. What I took from it is
like going into war, Shane. It's like going into war.
No, really though, it is, and if you're down in it, and it did matter later on because you have moments later on. It could be any practical thing, a job, life.
Being a young guy, young punk, you're a hell of a football player.
I was all right. I mean, I'm humble, but what I gained from it, I do draw to this day. Like even Coach
absolutely.
Brown, my favorite coach, the guy who worked us the hardest until we barfed. I mean, when you're down and you think you can't go any further, you think back to that hill and you're like, man, I know that he would blow that whistle and I can do this. If you think you can't. I mean, it's a mental.
Right.
I don't know. I gained from it is all I can say. I don't want to go too far. I'll let you talk. Sorry.
The biggest thing I can say, Coach Brown is now a personal friend, and we talked on the phone yesterday, as a matter of fact, and he, the losing shows a need for improvement, winning demands it. That's the one thing that I always remember. It's a positive either way, but it's also a sticking point that you got to work no matter if you lose or you win. And, Coach Brown is become a mentor in my life. And I've been lucky enough to introduce him to my son, and he's been able to have some talks with Logan and
oh, wow.
Coach Newton and these guys. So it's just been amazing. But Larry Brown is probably one of the. And I told Coach Brown, I said, I said, you're part of this. And he's well, Les, now come on, Wildcat pride, yeah, but I probably used that terminology with my son every game. Losing shows a need for improvement, winning demands it. And of course, Coach Brown, he heard that, and whether he got choked up or not, we'll never know because he doesn't show his cards. But just in the simplest form, and that's something he would talk. He talks that way, very simply. Wildcat pride, less. that's what he said.
Underneath that surface too, not just the coaching, and it shines through to the coaches that matter. He was a good man. He lived it. He preached it. A good family man. Just his values. So I think his core, is what matters too.
Hey,
that's what made a difference. And he was really a good man and a good soul.
Really was. I remember freshman year. We were out there double days. That's when, you had to be tough to get through that stuff. It was not, you had to have a mindset. We saw some good athletes that couldn't make it because they just weren't mentally tough enough, or
proving ground,
the sporting system, or whatever the case may be. But I remember we used to hit a little different way. We led with the crown of our helmet, and God knows how many concussions we probably got. But fingers back then, but I remember hitting the damn bag, and it didn't move much, and I smoked my neck, and it hurt, and the helmet was way too tight around my head. Galen Wood, I think, added some more air than what needed to be in the damn thing, and I wasn't going to say a word to anybody, but I formed a scab on my helmet, on my top of my forehead that day, and my neck. And then you go home after the first day of practice, and you, at least as a freshman, you went and you slept, and you woke up, and it felt like a whole new day, and it was time to go to the next practice. And I went to the next practice. My neck was hurting. I had a scab already formed on my forehead, and Coach Brown came over, and I thought, oh my God, what have I done? And he said, Clark, he goes, a coach's job is to take a player where they can't take themselves. Just trust the process. And I thought, holy shit. Okay. I don't know what that means, but it means I'm going to get worked over today.
Did you get the chills?
So, what's that?
Did you get the
No,
chills?
I didn't get chills. At that point, you're like, oh my God, I don't want to go out there and do this, but you do it, and it makes you feel better. And it's like, you get through the process. But those guys, from Coach Newton to Coach Woody to Coach Brown to all those guys,
Woody.
just salt of the earth human beings, and really solid individuals. And
Yes.
and I owe a lot of my success to them, because they allowed you to fail, and they allowed you to overcome that on your own accord, as opposed to figuring it out for yourself.
Well, Les, if you ever have an opportunity to talk to Mr. Brown again about coming onto the chat, we have a hit list of coaches we're trying to go through, right, Shane? And
yes.
We are progressively going to have the,
And a side note to your stories, those you don't know, Les Clark coming in as a freshman, he was a good sized kid. He was looking like a varsity sized kid. He was probably like a hunk of clay that those coaches wanted to mold. They're like, oh man, we could use this. What can we do with this kid?
Well, I wish I could go back. I wished I could go back. I remember I was a baseball player trapped in a football player's body, and didn't realize it until much later. But getting those 30 days in the weight room was a struggle for me. And but later on, of course, I figured it out in the weight room and did okay. But yeah, those guys, if I would have listened to, I think we probably all could say that.
Yeah, man, you were big frame, big shoulders. I'm like, man, who is this cat?
I think
he's bigger than us.
Me and Les were like the opposite gene pool. I think I looked like I was in the 5th grade my freshman year.
Yeah, Rod, you were the man. You hit the weight room hard, brother.
Rod had the heart of Rudy, though. See,
absolutely. I was the Rudy, but I rooted from the stands. I didn't root from the field, but
Yeah, there's my youngest boy right here. Say hi, Easton.
Hi.
Easton.
Hey, Easton.
What's up, brother? Easton, named after my aluminum bat in high school, or what's he named after?
You know what, Easton? After a baseball bat for sure. And Easton, what's your favorite sport?
Basketball.
Oh, basketball.
We should name
Just
him
said
Spalding.
named her Rawlings, huh?
Yeah, named him Spalding or something. He's a good boy.
Spalding. Yeah. Rawlings
Yeah.
is a baseball, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good kid. He had a tough day losing his big brother today, to the ball team, but yeah, we're getting through it. So
It's hard to see a sibling off, off
Yep.
to the world.
Yep, that's for sure. We cried a little bit on the way over, but then we got out of the car and we were fine. Once you get in the airport, you're excited for your kid, and I, my wife looked at me and said, "Hey, we're still paying his truck payment," and I said, "No, I got that. He's gonna be fine." I'm teasing. No, Logan he's gonna do good things, big things for the community and for himself. So I'm pretty proud of him. So
you're
good stuff. But Taft High, man, what a great thing.
Uh-oh. Is his internet going down, or is that me?
He froze.
I think he froze.
Les, if you can hear us, that's just a extraordinary, just wonderful story, and we're glad to hear the success of your boy.
Oh, he's back.
Are you back? Can you hear
back,
it?
Les?
Did you hear what I said? Okay, or
I didn't hear you. No, for whatever reason we went out. We're in Ford City Land here. It's
no,
third
I was
world
saying that
country
that was
sometimes.
an extraordinary story you shared, and we're extremely excited. That was wonderful news to hear about your son's success. That was a good story. Thank you.
It was really awesome. We
Good
didn't
news.
know. Crazily enough, he kind of negotiated his own deal. He had tremendous agents, but he turned down a deal in the 10th round, and I'm just looking at his mom. I'm thinking, God, give me a tank of gas. I'll take him wherever he wants to go, and he said, no, Dad, college is fine, because he had a full ride scholarship to go play baseball at Cal State Bakersfield. And he said, no, I'm good, Dad. College is great. Division I baseball, it's phenomenal. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to do anything if they don't meet what I'm looking for. And so I go, man, is this my son? But yeah, he
raise a smart kid. Sounds like, if that doesn't work out, it's not like he could do something in the law or maybe politics.
Yeah, who knows?
Just saying.
Probably stay away from the politic deal, but that'll be up to him. I know that he really likes getting out and mixing it up and trying to help folks. So who knows? Probably be a coach one day.
Well, he comes from definitely what I would see as a good lineage of baseball genes.
Well, we've had some fun. It's been a blessing to be a coach here. It seems like just yesterday, but gosh, we've been coaching, been here at Taft High and helping young people out for quite a while. So it's been a blessing. Really has.
So what is your involvement with the Atlanta Braves, Les? I was looking at your profile here, and it says that Atlanta Braves. Where are you? Yeah, you works with Atlanta Braves since 2019?
I started scouting for them as an associate about 3 years ago. And then I took a sabbatical this year away from it because Logan was a prospect. And a lot of teams, they have a nepotism policy in baseball. They don't want that, and I didn't want that for Logan.
Like a conflict of interest kind of thing?
Yeah, and, writing a report on your own son, good or bad probably isn't a good thing, so you want to be honest. And
like any business, really. I mean,
yeah, you be honest. You're not going to spoof a report. And so what if the report isn't favorable? Who wants to turn that in? But the report would have been, by the way, but he so took a little sabbatical and associate scout. I mean, it sounds like a lot, but honestly, it's and I don't mean any offense to any other associate scouts, but that's exactly what it sounds like. It's an association with the club. So in other words, they call you and ask you if you've seen X, or you call them and say, hey, come take a look at X. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it's a good little tax write-off, because they pay for your hot dogs when you go to a ball game every now and then. It's not this glorious thing. And, I didn't get a ring me when they won the World Series. I did get a banner, which was pretty cool, but it's really a blessing to be around guys like that. But it probably sounds a lot bigger than what it really is.
Well, with a role like that, there's obviously some degree of trust in your opinion, right? Or your input. Like, how do you qualify for that, or at least exude, "Hey, I'm the kind of guy that to trust my opinion on something like that." How did you get there?
I don't know. I think that just coaching for so many years and having some success with young people and getting them to the next level, I've been blessed to get some
So
kids to,
accomplishments you've done previously, right?
yeah,
Okay.
coaching and different things like that. And there was some recognition there from some guys, and so they started asking my opinion for whatever it's worth, and some they took, some they didn't. So it's just being around the game, and being sitting on a bucket here and there is really the reason why.
I mean, that says something when you've got somebody or a company that values one's opinion, or they've heard, "Oh, talk to Les, he knows ball." I mean, that's that's impressive. I mean, yeah,
But I
that's
appreciate that.
yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's fun. I mean, some relationships. Been able to develop some really good relationships over the years, and been around some of the best people on the face of the planet. And I think we talk about football. I was able to go play at a pretty high level in football, but it was really a blessing because going up and playing at Fresno State, I found out how good of an athlete I was not. So I think that a lot of people don't get an opportunity to do that. There's always this armchair quarterback feel for some folks, but I have no grand notions looking at the TV that I should have ever played at that level just because of the athletic, ability of some of these guys. But at the same time, I think it gives you a level of expectation for other guys because you maybe were one of those guys that had a negative report written on yourself at one point in time or another. So to be able to impart that and write it on a piece of paper and just kind of take it a little bit for other guys. In other words, hey, look, you got to do this to get better is kind of fun. And I think guys trust me when it comes to evaluating players. We got a guy right now. I mean, gosh, Brent Durkin has a kid that is just a tremendous baseball player and somebody that, God willing, health wise and everything else, he's gonna make a splash either at the collegiate ranks or pro ranks. I mean,
Now, when you say kid, are you saying his kid or a kid on his team?
No, his son.
Yeah,
His son.
he looks like a beast.
Is this him?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's Jackson.
Oh, that's Barry. That's
I'm
Barry, right?
I'm talking about Brent Durkin.
Brent Durkin's kid. Okay.
Brian's son is going to be a great ball player too, but he's still pretty young.
Rodney, search Brent's page. He has a picture of his son on the mound, and he looks like a grown ass man. Sorry for the language.
Brent Durkin.
I like Durkin didn't.
Yeah,
he was his son this year was the rookie of the year over there and first team all leaguer in that respective division. I think he got second team all area in baseball, and it was pretty cool. And I haven't talked to Brent. I know we text back and forth, but his son and my middle son just showed up here in Cash.
Yeah,
my middle son Cash. He's a lot better than I am. So
how are you guys?
What's up, Cash? Ooh, I love the name. I love the name.
Cash.
He's got a great head of hair, man. That's some nice hair.
Yeah, he does.
I say that because I'm an older balding guy, so I appreciate that hair.
Middle guys, I figured you'd enjoy that. So yeah,
there we go. Yes,
Brady.
Dude.
And then he's got Bo Durkin, who's a younger. His youngest son's going to be a stud too, and of course Brandon has a daughter that's a great little athlete. But
yeah, the youngers are twins, right?
Yep, for sure. But yeah, he's going to be oh my gosh, he's going to be and what a great kid. I mean, very respectful, always comes over, shakes your hand when he sees you, gives you a hug, whatever the case may be. But we've all been blessed. Mike Goodwin has a son that plays baseball over at Liberty. I think he played as a sophomore on varsity and is doing very, very well over there. And Cash, my middle son, and Mike Goodwin's boy got a chance to play with each other in Vegas a few weeks ago, and wow,
it was so many generational success stories, man. Blooming from our roots in hometown success. This is
Yeah,
awesome. I'm
parents are
jazzed. I'm not going to sleep tonight. I'm not going to be able to go on the internet. Look at everybody's kids.
yeah, I mean,
Well, that sounded bad. Sorry. But
there's
you know what I'm talking about.
yeah, Logan's done a great job, but he stands on the shoulders of a lot of people, and he would say this if he was here, but he's super proud of all the guy, we call him Taft blood, all the Taft bloods that are running around. There's a lot of them out there that are having some success right now.
On the map, and they heard of them. All these Taft boys can ball. Man.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That makes your chest swell, man. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool. We had good water at one time, so.
I know. I was curious of having Wendy on the panel to talk about her son, my little Mikey, and how that came about and all that. I go, how so much talent in the small town of Taft. You never would have thunk it,
dude. This is monumental. I've been seeing. Well, what was it? Can you help me with the name? Bronson, right?
Bronson Ortlieb.
Yeah, that kid was phenomenal. They went to Valley. I mean, they fought to the end. I mean, that was I read up on all that.
And he signed a full ride scholarship to go run track at Fresno State.
Right, because he's phenomenal at track. I see.
Bronson's one of my son's best buddies, Logan.
Right.
And so they hung out last night. It's funny. I don't even know where they went. I think they went to Franklin Field or something, but they were all hanging out last night having a blast. And so it's kind of fun to, know the trails that they're probably on. And they're probably staying a lot more out of trouble than we were, but they were having a good time last night anyway.
Different times.
Yeah, we went to Franklin Field not only to play softball, but for other stuff back in the day.
Yeah.
Before technology, there was
let's go barbecue.
Find different creative ways, I guess, to try to kill boredom.
What's funny is that I look up on that hill and it used to be Twin Palms up there. You guys know where. I don't even tell you, but somebody sawed one of the palms down. Now it's the single palm. There's no twin palm down.
Mono palm.
Yeah, who knows? I think they may have been related to A.T. Hill or somebody like that. Maybe they, took on twin palms. I'm teasing.
Rod had A.T. on with Coop for probably about 6 seconds, and then we lost him.
Yeah, I know.
I know. A.T.
Hill
showed up at Coop's, and then it went blank, like the internet.
I know. Oh man,
he's a super fun guy, and he's done a lot of things. I mean, he owns a business out here, and he's supported a lot of youth sports. And
nice.
And he's done a lot of really cool things. And he has a son I was able to coach, and just a great kid. But yeah, AT's a good man.
Back in Little League, what was it? The 9, 10, 11, 12, they still have those. Our team, like AT, was always like the inspirational leader, like the comic relief. And let me tell you something. He'd be in the dugout clapping it up, and he'd be out on deck or whatever. Like, come on, man! Or like, I'm gonna get my name in the paper, which means you're gonna get a hit because the driller would show who got double, triple, whatever. Yeah, I'm about ready to get my name in the paper 3 times, and just he was funny. He was really funny.
He's still funny. He's a lot of fun to be around. But yeah, those Little League days were a blast. I remember the frozen mug deal. If you hit one over the frozen mug sign, you got a free root beer. So that was a big deal. So the town Taft, I mean, gosh darn it, nothing's changed. There's still a lot of great people here, and as far as support, in this.
I gotta show him. I gotta show it to him again.
And we're missing some good people too in there. Doug Luna was on that. Chris Matheny.
And this guy was
look at that.
Coming next Fed
with the Bad News Bears hair.
I love the hair,
dude.
Wow,
kids wear that hair now in baseball.
Who was your coach on the A's there?
Okay, so we had Mr. Falke.
Okay.
Grotman, rest his soul. And then as an assistant coach, Daryl, you see old Daryl there, Dennis Falke's dad.
It wasn't up long enough, but the thing, Mr. Grotman, what a phenomenal man he was. And
he loved and lived baseball. Yes.
I can remember Mr. Grotman going out and talking to Craig, which wasn't very good because Craig wasn't very many because Craig was a hell of a pitcher. But I remember him going out on the mound. I think they switched to the Astros, but I can remember him going out to the mound and he was smoking a cigarette and he'd flick it down. He'd flick it down on the mound. Okay. He was done going to the mound. He'd pick the cigarette back up and his mouth. You couldn't get away with that stuff anymore.
But he was a good, gentle dude. Like when he talked to you and coached you and tried to get something across to you, he was a good guy, man.
Some old school picks here there's Clint Watts on the far left, Wade Smith on the far right.
Look at this.
Matt McAfee. There's Grotman in the center there.
Forrest Meeks.
And there's Mr. Grobman, upper right-hand corner. Boom.
Look at this.
Yep.
There he is.
Great picture.
Wow.
I forgot I had this one. There's
That's
Forrest Meeks in the bottom right.
Jason Blackburn down on the left.
Yep.
Yep. I see a
That's
lot.
me. That's me. I look like Blackburn though.
Oh, wait a second. That is, isn't it?
That's I look like Jason Blackburn. I'm a
Well,
hat.
Rod's Jason Blackburn with a blonde Jerry curl. Though.
Rod, I'm sorry. Blackburn. You're better than Jason Blackburn. No,
I was the base stealer though.
that's good.
We talked about last time we did a broadcast. Gup tried to pick me off first base 16 times because I pulled a walk and I was smiling at him and he couldn't pick me off. And then I
Wow.
started second.
Oh, there you go. Tick him off more and smile while you're getting success against him.
I don't know why it is, but when you smile at him, it just makes him more infuriated.
Hey Rod, at our ages now, if you tried to lead off on Babe Ruth and tried to steal a base, what's the first thing you think you would pull if you made a sprint for it? Like ligament, a bone? What would you pull on your body?
Probably hamstring.
Try to steal a base. Huh?
Probably hamstring, more than likely, or turn my ankle slide into second.
Shane, I wouldn't. They would say, "Hey, could you be second base?" I don't know. I don't think I would.
Les is going for the intentional walk. I think is what he's going to go for.
Yeah,
he's right. Like, let me be third base coach. Do that.
Yep, that's right. Let's get it.
Get it.
We had an alumni baseball game some years ago, and I got a base hit off one of the kids, and I got to first base, and they pulled the guy in to go run for me. And
you were winded. You're like, oh,
I got happy about it, and it probably would have been a triple, to be honest with you. But anyways, I dug out, and the guy got picked off. So it was Ronnie Meisner was pitch running for me, and he got picked off. So. Funny.
See?
But yeah, so it's great.
We kind of stoked in a way, like in a dark way of like, well, it's a good thing that at least he got picked off and it wasn't me, sort of thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What are you doing? I could have did that.
He had some slight satisfaction.
Yeah, it better not be Mike going to the box store under me. So, but no, it's one of those things.
Man. I don't know if it's a guy thing, a small town thing, or whatever, or just maybe a feel good thing. But nothing like nostalgic old sports stories. This is a good version of the old YeNDoR'S WiLDCaT chat.
Yeah.
Too bad we can't get any more like you're talking, and more former players / coaches, adults now. Maybe another time we can get a sports theme going with some.
That'd be awesome. There's a lot of great guys. I mean, it's a lot of great people coached at Taft High or teachers at Taft High, and we owe a lot to Taft High School. I mean, I don't know that there was a better high school in Kern County at the time, and I know it's still great. My sons are two of them anyways. The one just graduated, and one of them's there now is enjoying the time, and it's been good to them. So the education is still a great education, and we're blessed to be Wildcats.
Oh yes,
and
lest we forget, outside of football, baseball, and other sports, Taft's swimming and diving was dominant during my tenure in high school.
I think that of all the sports, that was the most successful.
Yes, and specifically, and Rod, you've had Ryan Miller on here a few times. He was like the diver for he went to Valley all the time, and I guess he came from background of that too before he moved to Taft. But another success story, like he really exceeded at diving, whether Valley or State, and then later on in life success, Navy SEAL, as we all know, and Navy SEAL instructor. But he pops on, hold hometown roots, humble as can be, joins the guys and had some jokes. And
wasn't he an oil derrick diver as well? I thought
yes. Yes, he's
dad
backflip up an oil derrick. I was like,
Ryan Miller's dad, Rich Miller, just got inducted this couple days ago into the Maine. I'm not sure what school.
Right, they're from Maine originally. Yes.
Yeah, so he got inducted into the Maine Diving Hall of Fame.
He was a coach there for a while, before coming.
Yeah, pretty cool. So I mean, that's got to be neat. So
yeah, growing up, I remember Ryan's backyard. He had a big apparatus with what looks like a giant trampoline, but they had an apparatus you would strap your body in when you're training for specific multi-move dives. And the diving team, he took them in and I don't know if he was a coach or assistant coach or officially with the school or whatever. But since Ryan was pretty advanced, he brought the other kids on board that were interested in diving and took them over to Ryan's house, and they were showing him all kinds of dive moves. I think Jeremy Elam did some diving for a while, did pretty good.
Jeremy was a hell of an athlete. I mean,
Yeah.
that swimming and diving team. They had the Mikowskis. Mikowskis could swim. Of course, they had the coach that never aged.
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. And that guy's still in great shape. I don't know how old he is. He's like he doesn't ever age, but
it's like the bodybuilder version of the Ken doll. Like his hair was perfect. He had like the chiseled face, and he was just shredded. And the most polite, soft-spoken guy you ever met. You walk up there, pull up your biceps, and like, hello, Mr. Business, had a suit on, I mean, just
just a stud. And then of course the late Mr. McCormick was there, and then Woody was a swim coach there too. So, but
yes.
I thought about swimming, but they didn't have any cannonball situations.
Are you a sinker too, Les? Because I was a sinker.
I was more of a treader.
Treader?
I could swim okay, I guess, but just straight to the bottom.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not a swimmer. I'll come out of the closet and say it.
It's fine. I just, those shorts kind of scared me. I mean, those
Speedos.
Those Speedos. When you got elephantitis, Rod, you don't wear Speedos.
I'm sure it's got to be kind of an unusual, maybe at times uncomfortable feeling. You're showing the world to people, and you're an impressionable teen, and maybe like not comfortable in your skin, and here I got to wear these, like, basically they're like blue panties, and you're like, oh man.
Well, Shane, you didn't want everyone else to feel inferior, so you did us all a favor.
Oh,
right?
That's the thing. They start in the cold season, so I wouldn't be impressing nobody. They start in the winter, like to get right. Am I wrong?
Yeah. I would have had to wear a shirt that said "It's awful cold today, boys." Yeah.
You're all eyes up here, guys.
We'll sign
You
out.
guys remember
Gone for the season.
Speaking of the pool, I think we all almost had near-death experiences in that pool when we were. I mean, because our PE.
PE with Newt, right? He gave you extra credit. Coach Newt said you get extra credit if you do a back dive off the high dive.
Yeah, that and our PE
automatic
program.
A.
Was it a back dive? No way I didn't do it.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I can't even do a back dive off a regular pool, like level ground.
Now I was adventurous back then, so I was all for it. But I was like, am I going to backflop or will I really land this?
Yeah.
So my wise take was, I'm going to watch 4 or 5 dudes and check technique and look and see what I got to do before I did. And I was all right. But I think the whole thing was, I mean, it's hard to fail PE, but what I'm getting at is it was not only for the spectacle and the fun, everybody's watching and cheering, but yeah, he said, you do that, extra credit, automatic A. I was right up that ladder. I could just screw off the rest of the quarter. I did my
I'm just stoked that Newton was on. But gosh, man, it was like last summer. I think he was on our broadcast, and Les, I was able to confess to him that I only ran 3 times around the lap, and I try to play it off like he was my 4th one.
I thought that fast.
I felt so much better telling him though. My acting was off because I was like,
had a confessional.
Whew, man, I was like, wow, that was. He goes, Edmondson, was that 3 or was that your final lap? I go, oh man, it was 4, coach. I mean, did you see how fast because Mike Barnhart was like Mr. Aerobic, and he was lapping me, and I had to play it off like I was right there with him. I didn't think he was paying attention, and I wasn't a long distance runner less. I felt so bad. 30 years later, I confessed. I feel bad.
His youngest son, Bones, Eric, he was your grade, right, Les? Was he with your grade?
Yeah. Bones was my grade. He
was like one of your prime receivers on the football team, right?
He was. Yeah, he certainly was. He was good receiver, and we probably threw it a hell of a lot more than we should have. We had a pretty good backfield, but Eric was a hell of a receiver. I think he has a record still. I could be wrong.
Does he? I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Bones.
In the old days of Taft was, wishbone. Then they migrated to I formation. What they call it, three downs in a cloud of dust, and then changed with the times. I'm sure they jumped into the passing world. Like
we passed a little bit. But we had Mikowski and Richard Anderson, a kid named Josh Saylor, that ran the ball pretty well. Ryan McGinnis. Richard Anderson, I think I mentioned him, but there were some good running backs, some good runner. Richard was more of a tight end, but he just got promoted captain of the Kern County Sheriff's Department. So Richard, I don't know if you guys remember Richard Anderson, but he was a hell of an athlete there at Taft. So
Zach always reminded me of like the Gronkowski of Taft.
Zach was a stud. He still, I mean, Zach's still probably 3% body fat. He's a hell of a trainer up in San Jose. I just spoke with Zach a couple days ago, and
he's doing training now. He's
yeah,
a personal trainer.
He's a trainer up there. Has a very successful business. He also runs a cryotherapy business out of there. And,
wow, yeah, he was always really fit, like a lot of naturally fit, but he still worked out and kept up and worked hard. I'm not taking that away. Yeah, he was blessed.
He's pretty renowned up there. I mean, he's got a lot of people get him up there. He does one-on-ones, and he's very, very successful. He's doing a very good job.
Good to hear good things. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Les, we're going to segue here shortly into the private chat where it all goes down, Les. You know, right, Shane?
What goes down, Rod?
I don't know. Things go down. There's a waiting list. There's a line forming. There's rioting in the streets. They're like, I want to get into that private chat thing.
First rule of private chat is
you don't talk about it, Les. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's how we keep them curious.
Hey, the last time I was on here, I thought, oh my God, we should be on private chat. So I'm glad you guys.
Right?
Things do get hairy, which is why I think Rod, as the professional as he is, decided, hey, let me shake it up a bit. I'll separate the culture. If you want to let loose a little, I'll do that. You can come into the
you know what, Rod? You could hit record and blackmail some people and make yourself some cash. I'm teasing.
Well, no, I'd say we've had some situations to where like, well, maybe we shouldn't have done this one public, and I'm all like, maybe I should just keep it private.
It usually starts with Rod saying, "Hey, whoa, 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 whoa." He can edit it later, but
yeah. What was it? Hummy came on about 2 months ago, and I was like, "Do I need to edit all of the swearing in order for?"
If it was the radio, it's not like a Morse code
or what? You know.
Hey, great dude.
He was hilarious, though, man. I love Hummy.
Hey, you talk about a dude that supports everybody. I mean, every time I turn around, there's something positive going on with anybody at Taft High. That guy's hitting like. And he's always kind of been that dude that's just quietly supporting.
He's got a good heart. Yeah, he's a good guy.
I mean,
he was hilarious.
Yeah, he's always been funny. And you know what? If he gives it to you, you probably had it coming. So it's a good thing.
Well, another thing, if he gives it to you, or if he doesn't give it to you, like what they say, like when someone's messing with you, or they're gonna rib you, then they like you.
That's right.
They ain't gonna talk to you. Like it's an old blue collar thing. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. So, well, it's good stuff. Hey, it was an honor to be on here, talk about my son. I'll bring him on here one of these times. He's just a tremendous person. He takes after his mom. He's just heart of the earth, and he's going to try to go out and do Taft proud. And please tune in, support him, watch him, and hopefully he keeps doing his thing. So we'll see what happens.
Unless he's got an awesome dad to lean on. It was a pleasure getting to talk with you again.
Hey, thanks, my friend. I really appreciate it, Shane. You're a great guy. You and Rod both doing this. I know it can't always be easy jumping on here, but at the same time, it's really, really fun to watch everybody get on and talk and
You never know. I always tell Shane, I just throw the pasta against the wall. You don't know who's gonna stick and come on board or not. And sometimes it's like a tidal wave, and sometimes like, Shane, is it just me and you today? You know what I mean? So, but then again, the private chat, you never know who's gonna show up for that, because we're just trying to hype up the private chat all this time. You know what I mean?
That's cool. Well, that's cool. Well, hey, thanks again, guys, and I'll try to jump on the private chat. I'm gonna see what's going on around here, and but if I don't see you, I'll see you guys in the future, and God bless.
Yes, thank you for showing, Les, and that's our show for today, folks. We're gonna do it again in about 2 weeks. Thanks again to Mr. Les Clark. Shane, I got her.
Got to do I'll be back. I'm gonna make a little Pete check and check on the little man sleeping and all that. So.
Yes, and for those who are in the lounge, Greg, go to the private chat. We are going to get nuts, and I'm going to leave my horns on. Who cares? Until next time, guys, we will see you. And be good people. Be kind to one another. You don't know what they're going through. And until next time, happy trails, folks.